I just finished the demo for a new up-and-coming game called Eternal Strands, which will be available on January 28th, 2025. They did, however, release a demo earlier this week, and I played it, and I want to talk a little bit about it. This game is developed and published by Yellow Brick Games. This is their debut game as a company, and the description of this game reads as follows. Fight epic towering creatures while blending magical abilities with an arsenal of powerful weapons to keep the world from crumbling in this third-person action-adventure game. Before we get into all the things I liked and some of the things I didn't like about this demo, I just wanted to make it clear right from the start that I don't think I'll be purchasing this game, and I don't think it's because this game isn't fun. I just think it's not really my style of game. It was a demo that I saw available on Steam, so I figured I would give it a try, but I personally, this is not the genre of game that I enjoy or that I like to sink my hours of time into. However, I think this is going to be a successful game for the people who do like it, provided some of these things we talk about that I think aren't really good for it are taken care of between now and when the game's released or soon thereafter. Right from the start, this game is pretty much what the description says. It's an adventure action game. You're playing as a character who has a sword and shield and a bow and arrow, and you have a bunch of magic that I'm assuming as the game progresses, you will be getting other effects. Throughout this demo, you really only had environmental magic where you can move stuff and throw stuff, and ice, which you can use to put out fire. Both of those were really cool. The whole arsenal, the whole kit is really enjoyable, and it's fun. It's just a, run around, do quests, and attack creatures. Now, for the whole early part of this game, it kept making me think of an older game that I used to play when I was a kid, and that was Fable. If you'd ever played Fable before and you enjoyed that formula, it really did give that vibe of the game as I was continuing to play the start of this game. As previously mentioned, you do have magic in this game, and using the magic is actually really fun. That was one of the highlights of the entire experience for me, was getting to use the magic. Mostly because of one specific thing where you can pick up the enemies and then throw them wherever you want. You can throw them off the cliff, you can throw them at the wall, you can throw them up in the air, and most of the time it would just one-shot them, and so that was really fun to do. I found myself, I am almost certain I did that more than I actually attacked enemies throughout the game. Now, one thing you'll find in all the negative reviews about this game so far on Steam is a very common theme without them all, and unfortunately I do have to mention it here as well, which is the dialogue and the cutscenes in this demo are way too many and way too long. At the end of it, I found myself really just kind of skipping through the dialogue because this isn't the full game. I'm not really investing my entire time into the game. I want to see how the mechanics of the game work, not how the voice acting works. The voice acting is okay, but I don't want to spend the majority of my time having to sift through cutscenes and sift through options to say to characters that I know within an hour I'm not going to be talking to them because I'm not playing the full game. For example, the opening cutscene of this demo is 5 minutes. You take from the moment you start the game to when you actually can move, you're wasting 5 minutes of a cutscene. Now, again, that is cool if you want to build into the world, but for a demo, you really don't have to do much world building outside of just, you could tell us there's magic, tell us there's abilities, and walk us from there. And another common thing that people are saying about this demo, which again, unfortunately, I do have to agree with, is the combat of this game just doesn't feel heavy, if that makes sense. It feels like you're just kind of pressing a button and your character is attacking, where some games when you're using swords, it really feels like when you're hitting someone, you can feel the weight of the attack, whether that's sound design or that's the rumble of the controller. I don't really know how they make that. However, it's not here in this game. The combat, like I said, with magic was actually really fun, and I enjoyed that. The bow and arrow was kind of cool because you have unlimited arrows so long as you have stamina, which again, I think is something that is really unique. I don't know if that's what these games do, but I did like the idea because at first I thought I could just spam my arrows and it was an oversight they missed, but then I ran out of stamina and couldn't shoot them. And so that felt like something that would be a good mix of like how to attack someone. Sure, you can just stay far away from them, but use your arrows, but then you're going to run out of stamina and not be able to run away. So that was just something that was interesting throughout this play. But the combat itself, with the swords and the shield, it just felt like it was kind of lacking some sort of weight behind each swing and attack. And that really was my experience playing this demo. Now, if you go look at the trailer for this game, it looks like there's a lot more stuff you're going to be able to do throughout this game as you progress and play alongside the story and have fun with your magic and your weapons and things like that. However, this demo really didn't showcase a lot of that. And I think that's probably where it missed my mark the most, is that the trailer and the demo are two completely different things. And I think the demo did a really good job at showing you what the world is going to be. But as far as setting its hooks into me to play this game for hours and hours on end, I don't think it really did that. As far as rating and recommendation for this game, I really would only recommend it to people who like this style of game or know exactly what they're going to get into with this style of game. As far as newcomers like myself, I don't know if I would really recommend this to anybody, just because the time to value of a game is really what I think we do as gamers in 2025. Is we really have to value our time above all else. And it looks like this game is going to be hours and hours. And although I do think the game is going to be enjoyable for people who like it, if it didn't really set its hooks into me, I can't recommend it for other people who haven't played games like this. There is also currently no price released for it. I don't know if that means it's going to be free to play, but anything over, I would say $25, $30 price range, I just don't think it would be a recommendation worth your money to play, unless, like I said, you know exactly what you're looking for when you buy these type of games. But what are your thoughts on the game? Have you played the demo? Is this a game that you know you're going to enjoy, or are you on the fence of it? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.